They want to reframe and reshape how we look at race. Never mind your ancestors that had to come over here in the bottom of a damn ship, packed in a tight packed situation or a loose packed situation where they were being defecated on, abused, sodomized, and God knows whatever else, and died through the Middle Passage. Never mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nest here with Black Eagle Network. Happy to see everybody today. So what we're going to be doing today is a number of different things, but the first thing I wanted to do is break down Roland Martin's, I guess you could call it fiasco over Janet Jackson. I saw this earlier today and just wanted to give my take on it from the Black Eagles perspective, but it's also important to note this is why the delineation movement is so key, because we are now able to call out Democrat shills like Roland Martin. And by the way, Roland, fair use, before we have to hear any of that. But I'm just going to be giving my take on what Democrat shill operative number one, Roland Martin, had to say about our sister Janet Jackson. And hope you guys like and subscribe to the channel for more insightful commentary. So with that being said, here we go.
Spread misinformation about Vice President Kamala Harris. In an interview with The Guardian, y'all, published Saturday, to promote the second leg of her concert tour, Janet Jackson claimed she heard that Kamala Harris was not black and the vice president's daddy was white. Here's what the reporter wrote. On For Us, it was about making a difference in a kid's life, the teenager's life, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street, trying to make something of themselves. On that record, she sang about joining voices in protest to social injustice and pushing toward a world rid of color lines. I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said, she asked me. She's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. She looks at me expectantly, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. Well, she's both, I offer. Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days, she coughs. I was told that they discovered her father was white. I'm floored at this point. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist.
Just for clarity too, I don't know why Roland is floored when the only person that can really clear this up is probably one of the people that Kamala Harris refuses to acknowledge during any of her speeches, and that is her father. Donald Harris, unfortunately, is in a position where he could just come out and say, you know what, for all interested parties, I am black. But Roland just did something very key. And what he did is he used a nationality for a race. And therein lies the difference. There are plenty of white people, Asian people, people from all over the world that live in Jamaica, Irish people. So there are plenty of other podcasters that have already delved into Donald Harris's makeup. But here's the thing, Roland, you're not floored. This has been going around because the media wanted to come up and say, well, you know what? Kamala Harris is black, and they did it to garner support from Black Americans, even though they're still trying to play you guys. Or rather, I should say they're trying to play us. But Roland just has an interesting take, and let's continue.
A Stanford professor who split from her Indian mother when she was 5. Quote, my mother understood very well that she was raising 2 black daughters.
Now, I don't know, just because she wrote it in the book doesn't mean that that's what she understood. When in fact and indeed, there's a picture going around right now of Janet Jackson and her family, and then Kamala Harris with her side of the family. And by the way, there's not an issue with Kamala Harris being raised in the Indian way and in the Indian tradition. But let's stop the cap, Roland, with trying to make it seem as if though she was raised like a Black American. Like, Roland, that's just disingenuous.
Harris wrote in her book, The Truths Behold. The people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon adjacent, Trump-loving conspiracy theorists.
No, sir. We're not conspiracy theorists, nor are we Trump lovers. What we are lovers and seekers of truth, Roland. The media, yourself included, tried to evoke Kamala Harris being black, and therefore you're getting the responses that you're getting, sir. Nobody said anything about loving Trump. This is why the Democrats are going to lose, because instead of you guys confronting a problem, what you tend to do is shame, insult, and bait people into believing that if you don't support her, then you support Trump. When in fact, what it is, we're not allowing you guys to play us anymore, Roland. That's what it is. No, Roland, you don't have the pull that you used to have.
I don't think Jackson falls into that camp, but I do wonder what the algorithms are serving her. I start again. Harris has dual heritage, I say. And given this moment, does Jackson think America's ready for her if we agree she's black? Or, okay, a woman of color? I don't know, Jackson.
See, black people, see how they did it again? Women of color, woman of color. Now, okay, if she's not black, can we agree that can we just let her be a woman of color? Black Americans, I've said this in my other videos. Go back and watch that. That literally means everybody else but you.
Stage whispers. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem. Now, a number of outlets reported that Janet Jackson issued an apology for the comments based upon a statement from Mo El Masri, okay, who said he represented Jackson and is listed as the singer's manager on IMDb Pro. Well, a person close to Jackson, who spoke anonymously, later told the Post that El Masri does not represent the singer. El Masri also came out publicly and said that he was fired by Janet Jackson and Randy Jackson.
Janet, if you see this video, congratulations, you did the right thing. I'm glad that you fired that man for speaking on your behalf, and I'm glad that you're standing on business.
As a result of that statement. Now, Janet Jackson has not apologized for those comments. So let me say this here, y'all. And so this is the first time I'm actually revealing this. So in 2019, we were on the Tom Joyner Morning Show cruise, the Fantastic Voyage cruise. And Janet Jackson performed. And so what we did was Tom would have all of the people who were on the show around a massive square table. And we were all basically record the show asking questions. So we interviewed Janet. So it was Tom, it was Sybil, it was Jay, it was Chris Paul, Huggy Lowdown, it was myself. It was like everybody who was on the show. So everybody's asking different questions. So this is 2019. Vice President Kamala Harris is running. And I remember I asked the question, was Janet Jackson going to endorse, or was she, really focused on the election? And so she gave, I can't remember what the hell she said. I don't know what kind of non-answer she sort of gave. Like, no, not really, whatever. I'm not quite remember. So check this out. So like 2 hours later, Tom comes up to me, pissed. He's like, because of your question, we can't run the interview. So what are you talking about? Well, her people came in and they were like, nope, can't run the interview. And then Tom said, we offered to them, hey, we'll just edit out Roland's question and her answer. Nope, and not at all, can't run the whole interview at all. And it never ran. It never did. Now, if I was Tom, then I'd run the damn interview. Now, I don't give a shit. But I'm sitting here going, how is it now 3 days later and you, Janet Jackson, still haven't issued an apology for that stupid ass comment you made?
It's not stupid, Roland. Again, you can't shame Black Americans for not supporting somebody that's not a part of the community, Roland. This woman, Kamala Harris, yes, I'm talking to you and to the rest of the Democrat Shills, has openly pulled an outright assault on Black Americans, Roland. Now, Roland, I understand that you're not a part of the lineage of foundational Black Americans, and it's okay. But guess what? Please go and disrespect other groups and not Black Americans, Roland. It's not disrespectful for her to let her audience know, listen, you can't play me just because I'm a celebrity. I can't be bought because I'm a Jackson. That's all it is to it. That's what Janet is saying. It's fine.
Now let me be real clear, okay? I think Janet Jackson is a fantastic entertainer. Puts on a great show. But this was a dumbass comment.
So where was this same energy at for Taylor Swift or John Legend or Meg the Stallion? Where was the same energy at, Roland? Or what's the other guys? I think it might have been Quavo. Where was this same energy at, Roland? Did you say that about them too?
And asinine. And you got the reporter sitting here telling you it's not true, and you say nothing.
Janet Jackson, thank you for having sense to know that all reporters are not they're not on code with Black Americans. Thank you, Janet Jackson, for doing that. Yes, Roland, we know that these reporters are bought and paid for Shills just like you.
So here you are, you haven't corrected it. So what you're telling us is you're perfectly fine with the lie being out there.
Again, Roland, for somebody to love misinformation and disinformation as much as you do, the only lie is you guys keep trying to say that Kamala Harris is a Black American woman. She's not, Roland. That's the lie. Just because it's a fact that you don't like, Roland, doesn't mean that it's not a fact. The fact of the matter is this, in the words of Kamala Harris, I mean, let's really be clear about this. She is an Indian American. Every time she's won some type of office or seat, she's taken that seat as an Asian American or an Indian American woman. Show us where she didn't do it, Roland. How about that? Since we keep talking about lies.
So you said nothing, Randy has said nothing, and that's just dumb. First of all, how many biracial people are in the Jackson family?
Now here come the insults because he's pissed off. So let's go here. How many of the Jacksons are actually running for office, Roland? How about that? Who's put into question the Jacksons' identity, Roland? By the way, what Motown albums is Kamala Harris on, Roland? Oh, Roland, by the way, what catalogs has Kamala Harris given to any Black entertainers, Roland? Like, get your facts straight, man. You sitting here trying to put on the cake for a woman, by the way, that's not paying you, by the way, that won't interview with you. You know why, Roland? Because you don't have the following you used to have, man. It's over, Roland. Stop capping.
How many of her brothers have married non-Black people?
No different than Kamala being married to a white person, Roland. What's your point? Again, none of them are running for office, Roland, so it doesn't matter. The issue is this: the media, yourself included, tried to hype her up as a Black American to garner our support. We're not falling for it, Roland. Don't get mad because we calling it out.
And you literally are questioning, oh, I heard her dad was white. What the hell are you reading, Janet? And who you hear it from? Not only that, this woman was the Attorney General of California when you lived there.
Roland, what does that have to do with her running for office of the president? In fact, if we really want to delve into her being Attorney General, I know that you saw those Black women that came out and said they were locked up behind her truancy laws, Roland. Or did you just willfully choose to neglect that, Roland? You said that, Roland, like that was supposed to be God's gift or gold. So what? She was an Attorney General. She didn't do anything but get on people's nerves. And what did she say? She used the power of the pen to make people's lives hell for fun and entertainment for her. Like, you said it like that was supposed to mean something.
Did you walk past the TV set? I am so through with a lot of these Black entertainers really being stuck on stupid.
No, sir. To the black entertainers that are standing on code, we appreciate you and we thank you. Do not let people like Butterball Martin here continue to push you off of your code or off your stance. It is okay to challenge things as you see them. It is okay for you to have a voice. If these other entertainers can be for her, the rest of you entertainers have a right to not be pushed into a corner. Don't let these people get y'all messed up because they're trying to push their agenda. What this dumb look on his face right here is because he knows good and well he doesn't have the pull. He can't get the funding that he needs to be able to do what he wants to do. See, here's what Roland wants to happen. Roland wants to be able to say, hey, look, I helped you deliver the black vote. Therefore, I need this funding. Ain't that right, Roland? It's okay. We see you, Roland.
With some of the comments that they're making, it's just dumb. And then it's then this is so it's going to cause. There's going to I don't. First of all, here's probably the most true. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. But why your ass talking about it?
The same reason why Taylor Swift is talking about it, John Legend, Meg Thee Stallion, Quavo, or if I'm getting his name wrong, I apologize. The same reason why they're talking about it. Why is it that? See, this is the problem that Kamala Harris team. When you guys see this is the problem that y'all are having with Black Americans. Just because you don't like what we have to say does not mean that we're not going to say it. Long gone are the days of, hey, we want to pat on our head, we want to pat on our back just to doggone feel good. No, Roland. Janet Jackson is a tax-paying citizen of the United States. She has a damn right to say what the hell she wants to about who's running for doggone office. She was the one presented with a question about Kamala Harris. And you're mad that she didn't come on, get into the whole sister girl code to benefit you. That's what it is. So don't tell the doggone be quiet. The nerve of you, of you shield class people to tell other individuals that are tax-paying citizens of this country where we should be quiet, whether we are entertainers or ball players or activists or educators. The nerve of you. We are tax-paying citizens and we got a right to say something about people that are running for office.
Why didn't you give the Guardian the same answer you gave me on the Tom Joyner Morning Show Fantastic Voyage Cruise?
Could it be because she wasn't on a cruise, Dodo? Could it be that, Roland? Could it be that was she on a cruise talking to the Guardian with the Fantastic Voyage? This was a dumb question, Roland.
5 years ago, then folks wouldn't be lighting your ass up.
The only people that are trying to light you up, Janet Jackson, are people like Roland Martin, who doesn't have the respect of the black community anymore. So don't worry about that, Janet Jackson.
Memo to all entertainers, especially black ones. If you don't know shit about politics, shut up.
So this is where we're having a problem, Roland. If this is my opinion, and some people might and might not like it. If you are a tax-paying citizen in the United States, you have a right to say something about politics. Don't let people see. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. People like Roland Martin want to be able to control the narrative. This is why people are so damn disengaged, excuse my language, with politics. And they're disengaged with politics because they have to deal with these snobs like this guy right here on the doggone screen. No, you, and especially you young black Americans, you have a right as tax-paying citizens to weigh in on politics. Don't let these people get y'all off y'all square because they don't like that it doesn't go with their narrative. The hell with their narrative if it goes against your best interest. Period.
Please. Because you look like a damn fool.
The only fool here, sir, is yourself. And I want you to know that, Roland. This is making you're not looking too good right now, Roland. Not looking too good.
Julian, go.
Ooh. Well, I hate to quote Laura Ingraham, who told some brothers to shut up and dribble, but I would tell Janet Jackson, shut up and sing, girl. That you okay at that. You ain't that good at that either, but you okay at that. You can.
See, this is what Democrat shills do. They can't defeat the arguments by themselves. So what they like to do, they like to go get a group or a team of people to jump on you, to kind of gang up on you, to make you feel like you're not saying what you're talking about. Ma'am, you have no credibility to tell this young lady that she can't sing. What stadiums have you sold out? What albums have you put out to be able to put your mouth on that? Again, she's a tax-paying citizen in the country. Janet Jackson, say whatever the hell you want to say when it comes to politics and somebody asks you the question. Tyrese, say what you want to say. Period. Because if they don't do this with, like I said, did they do this to Meg Thee Stallion? No, they didn't. You know why? Because it fit the doggone narrative. Period. This is wrong. Don't worry about it. I got some more. Let's keep going.
Sing, but do not get yourself involved in politics because you don't know what you are talking about. And like you said, she lived in California. She knew this sister was black. She knew she was the attorney general. I just want to know who's paying her bills because that's what it boils down to.
The disrespect as if though Janet Jackson needs somebody to pay her bills. Oh, see, this is the problem. Y'all the ones that need y'all bills. Y'all are the ones that are about to be without y'all bills being paid just as soon as election day gets here. And y'all gonna have so much crow to eat because you had your doggone foot in your mouth the whole doggone time. Period. You think Janet Jackson needs some help paying her bills? Y'all silly.
You cannot be a jackass. I try not to cuss on your show, Roland, just so I don't emulate you.
Takes one to know one, ma'am. And right now you are being indeed a jackass with a foundational black woman, Janet Jackson. That's what you're doing. You're being a jackass.
But I do cuss a lot. But you show yourself up to be a total jackass. What is wrong with you? And why are you doing this now? And they're going to be some.
Folks, this is another time, especially you young black Americans, to pat yourself on the back. This is what happens when you stand on code. The Shills cannot stand it, which is why they're saying, Janet Jackson, why are you giving them fuel now? The problem is Kamala Harris is not doing too good with black voters. She knows she's not doing too good with black voters. The black Shills are trying to say now, hey, we need to keep everything as down low and as copacetic as possible to not cause any more harm to Kamala Harris. The hell with that when Kamala Harris's only focus is illegal immigrants and dreamers. That's who her focus is on. It's not on you, black Americans. So the hell with this podcast group or on this on Roland Martin's show trying to tell black Americans that we need to shut up and get in line and vote. No, we're not going to do that. If you don't have any tangibles, we're not going to just vote.
Some young people and some stupid people who are going to emulate you, and you need to dial it back. You just need to dial it back. People.
What do you want them to emulate, ma'am? Going to get in line and being happy about a damn sticker that don't mean anything? Is that what you want them to emulate? You want them to be happy about taking off from work if they got a job, getting in their car, driving to their precinct, standing in that line, going to use the pencil or pen it's a pen, and circle in whatever name, and then get a damn sticker and be happy about voting for absolutely nothing? No, young people, you guys have a right to stand up for something. You guys got a right to put in and get a tangible for your doggone vote, just like every other group.
People have admired you for years. Whatever. We've admired you for years, even though you've been a little but stupid about some stuff. But frankly, no, this is not your platform. Go sit someplace.
Respectfully, ma'am, this isn't your platform neither. You already got yours. You got a life of comfort that most Black Americans don't have. Respectfully, this isn't your platform. Next.
And saying something unusual, but don't talk this mess. I'm like totally over it. I'm like you. I'm totally over it.
If only you knew how bad y'all making the Divine Nine organizations look. Yes, Roland Martin, you too. And ma'am, I see the crest behind your back. Y'all are turning so many people off that could be of a benefit to your organizations because you're doing dumb stuff like this. The era of do what I say because I said so, let me say it this way: I'm a Democrat shield and I say so. It's over, man. This is the generational divide. This is why Kamala Harris is not doing good with Black voters under 50 because of older voters like you. And this is why y'all not getting any of that doggone money from her.
And again, listen, if you don't know, just say you don't know and keep it moving, Congo. But to also make this comment, get all this blowback, and then you ain't sat here and so your manager issues an apology, then y'all walk the apology back. So y'all want the lie to still sit out there?
Hey folks, this is something else that Democrat shields like to do. I'm pausing and slowing it down, so I apologize. But they frame things in ways that'll make it seem like they are what they're not. For example, it is not a lie that Kamala Harris is not a Black person. Okay, that's not a lie. Technically, she's multiracial. Technically, if that's not a lie. So, Roland, for you to say that she is Black, sir, you are in fact lying, sir. There's no documentation that proves that her father has claimed to be a Black man. He has only claimed a nationality, but not a race. So, Roland, the lie here is the joke's on you, man. I hope you know that. You can't just fool people. So what they want to do is they want to put it into position, and what certain older people would do is say, hey, guess what? They caught lying right here. See, even Roland said they were lying. No, Roland framed it in a way to kind of make it seem what it is, but it's not. That's the point I'm trying to make. So pay attention to how, go look at some of my other videos where I kind of talk about that trick bag language. That's a Democrat shield tactic that they use to keep their foot on the necks of Black Americans. It worked some older Black Americans, which is why now they're having such a hard time. They don't understand why it's not working on you younger people.
That's dumb. And all y'all other people, I see some of y'all fools talking about FBA and all that, and talking about, oh, Janet's an icon, Roland Martin, you shilling. All y'all can kiss my...
Folks, this is where you need to give yourself a round of applause. Now we're getting up under your skin. Since you want to talk about foundational Black Americans, let me address you straight, sir. If it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about us. You don't insult any other group. It's okay, Roland, if you're not a part of the heritage and lineage of foundational Black Americans. What we're done doing is being your doggone pack horses and attack dogs when you guys want to rile us up. That's what we're done doing, sir. That's what they like to do because you don't qualify for reparations. Now all of a sudden we're just supposed to get in line and care about everybody. No, sir, we're not going to do that. We watched we watched our great grandparents do it. We watched our grandparents do it. We saw our parents do it, only for Black Americans to only lead in doggone homelessness and incarceration, and are the last on the list when it comes to median household income. No, sir, you go straight to hell with that, Roland. That's your only thought, is to insult foundational Black Americans. Yeah, I said it.
Entire ass.
Yo, straight.
Because let me be clear, ain't nobody beyond getting criticized. whether you Janet Jackson or anybody else.
Unless you're Kamala Harris, correct, sir? Because truth be told, guess what? You're not above criticism neither. So don't do that, Roland. I mean, Roland, don't you get tired of shilling? Yeah, yes, we're calling you a shill, Roland, because you're trying to say that Black Americans need to get behind this woman that only cares about illegal immigrants. Or excuse me, let me say it a different way. Immigrants that they've made legal against the will of the American people. How about that?
If you say something stupid, guess what? You're gonna get called out. Go ahead, Amakongo.
Yeah, so much for all of the peace and Rhythm Nation and all of that other type of stuff she was singing about. This is another reminder that our entertainers are not our leaders.
Right, they're not our leaders unless they're talking about the benefit for Kamala Harris. You're right. They're only our leaders when they're talking about the benefits for Kamala Harris. Correct, sir? This is why y'all, again, when y'all are trying to figure out what the hell happened with Black Americans, I hope that y'all come back to this clip and rewind it and hear yourselves talk. You're shaming people that you need help and votes from because you don't have the ear of the people. Period. And when you don't have the ear of the people, you say dumb stuff like this. I don't hear any of y'all talking about John Legend. I don't hear any of y'all talking about Taylor Swift. I don't hear any of y'all talking about Meg Thee Stallion. And I know Taylor Swift isn't black, but you get my point. Or Oprah. I don't hear any of y'all talking about Oprah neither.
Unless they choose to get out there and do the work. I'm thinking of, the John Legends of the world, the people who are out there, know what they're talking about, engage in activism. And Janet Jackson, it's fun.
See what I mean? It's okay if you're John Legend because John Legend agrees with the agenda of the Democratic Party. So it's okay for him to say what he wants to say. The hell with it. Janet Jackson, say whatever it is you need to say. Period. Don't worry about them. We got your back over here.
Funny how this Trump campaign, all of his campaigns, all three of them, have really destroyed people's legacies. Like people who normally didn't say nothing, try to come out and be on this side or that side and just manifested their ignorance in ways that
Sir, nobody is ignorant. The only legacy that's going to be destroyed here are you Democrat shills because you don't have it in the bag, sir. Y'all's legacy is what's destroyed, sir. No, Black Americans are on code, and guess what? If you're not providing tangibles, yes, you, Kamala Harris, and the rest of the shills, we're not coming to give you our votes. Nobody's ignorant for calling out the... See, let me tell you what y'all wanted to happen. Y'all just thought that, guess what? We're going to tell these Black Americans that they can do this, or we're going to shame them into voting for you. It's not going to work, sir. It's not.
and it is doing. And to let this happen and go on for 3 days, like you said, and not issue any apology, this is the non-apology apology, right? Meaning that by her not saying anything, she's fueling the flames of more ignorance and disrespect.
Sir, what it is, she has more of a backbone than you do, sir. And let me tell you something, sir. You and Roland Martin, you guys have lost the respect of black men because you stand for doggone nothing. This is why our women have had to be so much more aggressive than anything, because the doggone quote unquote protectors of the damn community have become spineless. You don't stand for anything, sir. The only ignorant people are the people that I'm listening to right now.
Towards Vice President Harris. But another thing I want to talk about is that, Vice President Harris's lineage is actually an opportunity for us to reframe the conversation about how we look at race.
Young black Americans, this one is especially for you. Pay attention to what he just said. They want to reframe and reshape how we look at race. Never mind your ancestors that had to come over here in the bottom of a damn ship, packed in a tight packed situation or a loose packed situation where they were being defecated on, abused, sodomized, and God knows whatever else and died through the Middle Passage. Never mind that. Never mind that you are at the bottom for median household income. Never mind that you are the last hired, first fired, and the main people laid the hell off. Never mind any of that. That you only lead in mass incarceration and homelessness. Only think about how you can look at everybody else and give them your benefit off of your back. No, sir. We are not taking the crumbs off of a table that we built. Period.
Because the fact of the matter is that you can't be half black and half Indian, right? Like, black is a race, Indian is a nationality. She is a Black American woman of
there's no documentation anywhere to say that she is a Black American. That y'all know how y'all go fill out a job application. They ask you Hispanic, not Hispanic, or Latino, Black, or African American. She hasn't filled in Black or African American anywhere. Like, stop the cap, man.
Indian and Jamaican heritage. Like, it's like religion, like saying you have British and half Muslim or something, right? So her beautiful heritage gives us an opportunity to really reframe and understand race a little bit better. And
we don't need to reframe or understand race any better here in the United States, sir. We have a understanding. And guess what? The descendants of the enslaved in the United States are standing on business, and we are looking for our reparations, sir. And guess what? It's not a handout. It is what is owed. Everything else you're talking about is why you don't have the ear of Black Americans neither. I was gonna hit play, but I got to stay on this for a second. Young Black Americans, this is the trick bag language that they are going to use while you guys are in school this semester. Trust me, they're going to try to make you think that you need to reshape and rethink about everybody else. No, everybody else thinks about yourself. Show me one of these groups that gives a damn about Black Americans. Show me. Somebody drop a link in the chat and show me where brown people are standing up for the needs of Black Americans. Just show me, and then maybe we can have those conversations. But not a minute before, and damn sure not a minute after we get our doggone reparations. No, we're not getting ready to move our eye off the prize, sir.
America, it should be an opportunity for a conversation, as opposed to all of this argument and all of this ignorance and all of this hate at a woman who's just like Julian Bond said, if you dissect America, let her spell out I am race. So
no, sir. If you dissect America, what you will find is it was built off of the backs of enslaved Black Americans, sir. That's who it was built off of chattel slavery, sir. This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is so Roland, guess what? When you guys come back and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened, and when you're cussing out everybody because Black Americans didn't go and vote for Kamala Harris, this is why. Stuff like this right here. I just want you to know, from a Black American standpoint, this is a major turnoff. And Kamala Harris's team, if you're seeing this is why you guys are not getting the support from Black Americans.
really, at the end of the day, what you're doing, Roland, what Dr. Margot's talking about, like, all of us can use her heritage as an opportunity to reframe the conversation. And all of these folks who are staying ignorant out there, if you're not going to come out and apologize and recognize how wrong you are, then we have no choice but to call you out. No matter how much we love your music, that does not give you a pass.
So, folks, you heard what the panel had to say, and I'm glad that he's talking about being called out. And and keeping up with good spirits, let's delve into what happens when they're being called out. And I want to share this article with you guys, because, and Roland, this is for you and the rest of you Democrat shills that are on the panel. But this is what happens when you're not on code, and this is why they're so frustrated with everybody. So what I want to do, I want to share around these black operatives. Oh yeah, that was her at the Congressional Black Caucus right there. So right here it says black operatives are furious over how Kamala Harris's campaign is spending money. Hey, Roland, you ain't getting none of that. You not getting none of that money. I just knew that you were gonna be getting some of that. Listen, y'all, minority-owned firms are frustrated the campaign is relying on white-owned firms for spending, and they're worried that could ultimately hurt the campaign with voters of color. Oh, folks, especially young black Americans, not black Americans, voters of color. Okay. So Derek Johnson, the president of NAACP, was frustrated after a call with Kamala Harris campaign early last month. He and others on the call felt they hadn't gotten a clear answer to something that has mystified leaders in Congress, co-chairs of the campaign, and donors. Why did it seem like minority-owned political firms that typically work with Democrat campaigns aren't getting as much of the record-breaking Harris campaign money as white-owned firms? Gee, let me think. Could it be because you guys have people like Roland Martin shaming black Americans for having an opinion on the candidates that are placed before them? Listen, folks. Now, this is something else I want you guys to pay attention to. Remember up here at the top where it says they're worried that they could ultimately hurt the campaign with voters of color. Now, check this out. If black voters, let me highlight. If black voters are the base, it should be black vendors telling the story. Well, see, this is what's funny. Even Kamala Harris got sense enough to know y'all black vendors don't have the ear of black Americans. Yes, Roland Martin, they're talking about you. That's what's going on. Listen, folks, Democrats are worried about the backslide they appear to be having with some black voters. Young black Americans and black Americans everywhere, pat yourselves on the back. This means that we are on code. And black vendors and their allies see an obvious solution. Listen, spend more money with political class. Listen, now this is hilarious. Listen to this solution. Spend more money with the political class, i.e. Roland Martin and the like, the other people on that panel, who actually know the most about that constituency and can adeptly tell Harris's story. But minority vendors, now we back to minority, even though up here we were talking about black vendors, right? Check this out. But minority vendors and media companies believe the Harris campaign is taking operatives of color for granted and failing to spread around the lucrative contracts white-owned firms are getting. Folks, you cannot make this up. I'm not going to read the rest of the article. You guys can go and read the article on notice.org. But what's telling about this is why we saw the hissy fit over here with Roland. This is why we saw the hissy fit, and we saw that hissy fit because they are used to telling black Americans, listen, this is the candidate that you all need to support, and if you don't, you're dumb, you're stupid, you kiss my ass, all that type of stuff. This is why. So congratulations, we're calling out all trick bag language, and what I want you young college-aged black Americans to pay attention to is pay attention to those buzzwords like people of color. And then I want you to pay attention to when they use black. They only want to use you as a pack horse for their agenda. And with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and end the recording on this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Nest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, we are out.